Welcome to Eddie Brackett's Hot Take.
Yeah. Brackets, lock it in and get ready to win. Brackets, lock it in and get ready to win.
Lane Kiffin, is he leaving his spot at Ole Miss?
Well, one moment they give him an ultimatum, then they didn't give him an ultimatum, then he bought a house in Florida, then he bought a house in LSU. He's doing this, he's doing that. They wanted to talk about the perennial powerhouse that you can spend money at LSU, but that hasn't paid off yet. You talking about the money you can spend at Florida, that hasn't paid off yet. Would you take that job? Them jobs are old jobs. I would, but I mean, they're still, they haven't, even with the money they bring in, they're not buying the players that
Here's
Ole Miss
what I heard,
has.
though. This is what I heard on the radio this morning. That family members took tours of LSU and of Florida. They took tours of the stadium facilities and of houses in the area. Do you think Lane Kiffin's just point said, "Hey, I'm just take my family on a free vacation to go to Florida for the weekend"?
So he seems like the personality that would get that next paycheck. Like, man, look, they may bump him up. Ole Miss, bump his pay up, and he's still.
They're talking about how if they don't get some sort of commitment by the Ole Miss game or they're going to just fucking the Auburn game, I should say.
Right.
They're just going to fucking fire him. And he's going to go to the playoffs, possibly as the number 2 or 3 seed, and they're going to fire their coach. I think he's leaving. And sorry, Joe Schwer, he's leaving. Mark Pope. Are his days numbered to Kentucky already? Let me ask you this. In the new day and age where they fire coaches in college football mid-season, will he be the first coach in college basketball that gets fired mid-season? Let me make a point. They got blown out against Louisville.
Yep.
They got blown out last night against Michigan State. They only have one more out-of-conference game to make a point, and that's at North Carolina. They're going to probably get blown out at North Carolina. He looks like a dumb. He used his press conference last night. He sounded giving up already. Do you think he's not got a big buyout either? It's like $20 million. Do you think he's going to make it through the season? Do you think he'll make it to even the conference season, Chris Moon?
Normally, I would say you're overreacting, but I watched that game, and there was a lot of high school plays that were ran, and they didn't pick them up. There was a lot of high screens, and the guy went straight down the lane and didn't get picked up. There was a lot of things that five-star athletes should know, and they looked like they didn't know where to be in position. They were out of position. They are trying to play. I call it Nike ball. They're trying to give the ball up. When they're jumping up, they're trying to give the ball away. And you had Michigan State, which has older players, which are more developed and fundamentally sound. We did not look fundamentally sound. I'm a Kentucky fan. But I think it's a little premature. I would say it's premature, but after what I saw, I would fire him. It didn't seem like they and they lost to Louisville. We can't lose this game, and they don't look very good at any position. There isn't one thing they do well. They played Louisville well because they kind of matching styles. They both play that fast run and gun, and that's not really an offense. You're just it's chucking the ball and hoping you get the rebound and hoping that it pays off. And it almost did. They had 2 good runs last night. That coach had his team well coached. He was out-coached, outplayed. They wasn't right.
By a legend.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Tom Izzo doesn't win a lot of November games. He usually sucks in November.
Yep.
But they looked like they had 7 or 8 3-pointers. They were the worst 3-point shooting teams in the nation until last night. They hit 11 threes. So, and their blockouts. Their blockouts were ridiculous.
Yep.
Kentucky's going to fire Mark Pope before they get to the end of February. Right now, you hear your first.
If you want, but you'll never get paid. Eddie Brackett, roll the dice, stacking chips, calling winners, never slip. Vegas.